Well, that was frustrating. That was absolutely frustrating. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports. And the Phillies fall in the first game of this huge series to the Atlanta Braves by a score of 7-2. The Atlanta Braves, they get a sixth run, bottom of the eighth inning to win this game when the Phillies were leading 2-1 in the bottom of the eighth. Seranthony Dominguez walks the first batter, and Eddie Rosario, who was pinch hitting at the time. And you can tell right from there, Seranthony Dominguez's command was not there at all. And allows a 2-run go-ahead home run to Ronald Acuna. And then right from there, everything falls apart for Seranthony, for everything. Then you bring in Nick Nelson. It just feels like it's waving the white flag. It's basically it there. It is. It just felt like everything for you was going right through the first until the top of the eighth inning, basically. Kyle Schwarber with an absolute laser of a home run. Jean Segura with a go-ahead shot after the Braves tied it on a solo shot of their own from William Contreras. Ranger Suarez had himself a very solid game, 6 innings of 1 earned run ball, basically an exact quality start right there. Jose Alvarado was dominant in his 7th inning of work. And then Seranthony Dominguez completely fell apart. And that's something you don't expect from him. Coming into this game with a sub-2 ERA, what was it, like 1.57 or something like that, gives up 5 earned runs. I know some of those earned runs were charged to him when Nick Nelson came out there, but still, it's 5 earned runs to Seranthony Dominguez. That leadoff walk killed him. Offensively, I think there could have been a little bit more to do. You had some chances with runners in scoring position. Bryce Harper fouled a ball off of his knee, did not look the same the rest of the night. He just looked very uncomfortable swinging the bat. You had a couple of chances with runners in scoring position. I feel like Kyle Schwarber did have one with 2 outs. Bryson Stott had one, so you weren't able to come up there. 2 solo shots in this game. That's basically all your offense. And it's weird too because we're making some, going into this game with a lineup. And we're seeing that bottom half of the lineup of Vierling, Munoz, and Guthrie. Those guys had more than half of your hits tonight. The other, Vierling had 1, Munoz had 1, and Guthrie had 2. That's 4 hits. And then the other 2 hits came from the solo shots of Kyle Schwarber and Jean Segura. Alec Boehm goes 0-3 with a walk. Bryce Harper goes 0-4 with 2 strikeouts. JT 0-4. Bryson Stott 0-3 with a walk. So those guys did not show up in this game. Ranger Suarez, I thought, was really good. Alvarado was really good. Seranthony Dominguez was probably his worst performance of the year. This is the first time he's allowed more than 2 earned runs since April. That's how rare it was for him to have a blow-up like this. He just looked completely off. Just did. I don't know what happened for him to lose command like that, because his last appearance against Miami, he looked spectacular. Coming out here, he just looked terrible. I don't know if it's the fact that moment was too big for him for some reason. I can't explain it. I can't explain it to simply say he didn't have it tonight. And I don't know why he had a couple of days off coming into this game. I don't know why he doesn't have it. He's got to go out there and perform like he's done every single time this season, bearing maybe 1 or 2 bad games. You got to go out there and perform. It's simple as that. And for everything, you're leading 2-1 going into the bottom of the 8th, and for it to fall apart like that, the Braves just continue to tag on. They bat around. Dainty, bloopy hits that go where no one's at. Throughout this entire game, you got Guthrie making that amazing play in foul territory where he's sliding 50 feet to make a catch. And nothing else. That 8th inning was devastating. It was. It's heartbreaking. Completely heartbreaking. The fact that Seranthony just goes out there and looks terrible. You had this game on a silver platter. The Braves' offense in this entire game looked terrible. They had 2 hits going into that 8th inning, I believe. And both of those were from William Contreras. The rest of the offense was quiet for them until Seranthony Dominguez came into the lineup, into the game. Leadoff walk kills you. And you can tell right from the get-go he had no command. Changeup all the way up. Fastball way outside. It's got to be better. It's got to be better. You can't go out there and just instantly walk the first batter. You can't go out there and just not have your command ready. You got to be ready to go. Like, seriously, you got Jose Alvarado taking all the time in the world because he's getting the grounds crew to fix the mound out there. And then after all that time, he goes out there and dominates. Seranthony, you got to be better. You just got to be better. I am disappointed in you, Seranthony. And yeah, I'm disappointed in the rest of the offense too. I would like to score more runs. I would like to see more things happen. It's completely frustrating. And I wanted this, like, you were competing in this game for 8 innings, and then it just completely blows up in the bottom of the 8th when Seranthony comes out. It just basically happens like that. Like, you had this game lined up for you, and your guy just didn't go out there and get the job done. A guy that you don't expect to do that, or expect to blow up like that. It's unacceptable. It's completely unacceptable. Can't happen. That can't happen again. And now you get some more news with the injury front. You know, Rhys Hoskins once again isn't in the lineup tonight. Who knows how bad the injury is that they're actually saying. Nick Castellanos might take some more time than needed. I know oblique injuries are a major pain in the ass, you know, to heal properly. So who knows when we'll see Castellanos back. Zack Wheeler, he had a bullpen session today. They're saying he could possibly start Wednesday against Toronto. That's basically the only positive thing to come out tonight. Well, besides the Schwarber home run and the Jean Segura home run. And I was pumped after those 2 shots. Kyle Schwarber goes deep in the 4th. It was an absolute laser that got right over the wall. Had no idea how that ball got out. That's just how hard he hit it. Jean Segura, like I said, Atlanta ties it the next inning. William Contreras, solo shot, absolutely crushed it. And then Jean Segura leading off in the 5th. Responds instantly, gives the Phillies the lead back. Ranger Suarez. There were, like, the umpire for both sides wasn't bad, but it felt like today Ranger was able to get his emotions underway. That was something that looked positive at a Ranger. When he wasn't getting strike calls, he wasn't letting the frustration build up like he has a lot of times this year. He looked very solid out there, and he gave you a good start. I just can't believe what Seranthony did. I just can't believe that. I'm just still in shock and awe that Seranthony just went out there and blew up. A guy that's rarely done that this year. Maybe he has had a bad start once or twice this season. It's like all the stats say, he hasn't allowed more than 2 earned runs since April. That's how good he has been this entire year. And for him just to blow up like that, that was just completely unexpected. At a guy that's been doing his job the entire year, he didn't get his job done tonight, and that's frustrating. That is completely frustrating out of Seranthony. It just is. Now Bryce Harper doesn't look comfortable in the box once again after he fouled the ball off of his knee. A couple of bats after that, he just looked like he wasn't able to swing properly. Wasn't able to get full extension. Looked very uncomfortable in the batter's box. It's getting annoying at this point. Getting annoying. And I'm not blaming everything on Bryce Harper. I'm not. I'm just like, can this dude catch a break with, like, you know, getting hurt during the game? But he still has to, you know, be better in the batter's box. That's definite. You know, JT goes 0-4 in this game. I would like him to show up tonight. He didn't. Alec Bohm didn't get a hit. Bryson Stott didn't get a hit. Like, it was your bottom guys. And then Kyle Schwarber and Jean Segura with the solo shots. You need your top guys. You need your top guys to show up. It's got to change in these next 2 games. It has to. You need Aaron Nola to show up tomorrow, and you need your top guys to show up tomorrow. Jake Odorizzi is definitely not a world beater, so he definitely can blow up. You got to score runs tomorrow. You got to score runs to get Aaron Nola a good lead. And Aaron Nola needs to go out there and pitch. He needs to go out there and dominate. Simply needs to happen. Simply needs to happen. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Now, your record is 80-64 on the year. And coming into this game, you were still 2.5 games above the San Diego Padres. Now, 2.5 games, 1.5 games. I think it was 2.5 coming into this game. Like, my mind is all over the place because of that bottom of the 8th inning. It just is. Yeah, you were 2.5 games coming into this one above the Padres. Now with the loss, you're 2 games above them. And then right now, San Diego, they are currently playing the Diamondbacks. They are winning, I believe, 4-1 in the 5th inning. Yes, they are. So if San Diego were to win that game, that would go to a 1.5 game lead for that second wildcard spot. And the Brewers, they are currently tied with the Yankees 5-5 in the bottom of the 6th. Yankees were leading that game 5-0 after the 2nd inning, and the Brewers came back. That's classic Frankie Montas for you. He sucks. So yeah, it's basically where it stands right here. Where it stands. Very frustrating. Very frustrating out of Seranthony. I just can't believe it. Simply just can't believe that he blew up like that. My mind is still processing it. Like, I'm confident going into that bottom of the 8th. Okay, Alvarado has an amazing 7th inning. Now let's go out there. Seranthony for the 8th. David Robertson for the 9th. This could be a nice win for you. A nice, huge win to start this series. Nope. 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 Leadoff walk. 2-run shot. And then just let on the rest of the runs. Let him bat around. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm so disappointed in Seranthony. I am so disappointed. I just am. Just is. Sometimes you do wish that you could have Alvarado go 2 innings. That's what I'm thinking to myself, but it's like, you don't think Seranthony blows up like that. Like, no one expects that. No one expects Seranthony to blow up like that. He maybe allows a run. Doesn't allow 5. That's just unlike him. That is completely unlike him. He was terrible. Command was just not there. After what Ranger did tonight, what Jose Alvarado did in that 7th inning. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And the Braves offense was just so quiet the entire night. Like I said, going into that 8th inning, they only had 2 hits. They only had 2 hits, and both of those were from Contreras. Then they finished this game with 7. They had 5 hits in that 8th inning. Devastated. I'm devastated. Now, you know how you make me feel better? You got to go and win the next 2 games. You just got to. Will it happen? I have no idea. You still take it one day at a time. I need Aaron Nola to go out there and dominate. I need the offense to go after Jake Odorizzi. I need something tomorrow. I need something. Because everyone's watching this series. You got to go out there and prove to everyone that you can compete with these teams. And yeah, you came into the series tied with the Braves this year, 6-6 in the season series. So you've proven that you can beat this team. It's been an even season series this year. But now you got, this is a huge stretch. 7 games against this team. Well, now 6 more after tonight. You gotta prove to us that you can compete. Yeah, it was competitive through the first 8 innings in this game. But you can't blow up like that in the 8th. You just can't. You simply can't. You can't let it get that out of control. Okay, if it's 3-2 going in at the top of the 9th, you have a chance. You don't have a chance going down there 7-2. You just don't. You can't blow up like that, Seranthony. You just can't. It's goddamn frustrating. It really is. It really is. Because I'm still trying to, I do have thoughts of what I think this team is going down the line into the playoff stretch. This stretch here could tell me something more, even though this stretch isn't done whatsoever. It's not a good start to it. It's definitely not a good start. Because this Braves team, or the Mets, whatever happens with the division, if you do stay in that second wildcard spot for the rest of the year, this could be a team that you face in the wildcard series. It is. And you need to show us that you can compete. to, give us a sense of hope that you could possibly win a wild card series. Like, I do have my thoughts on this team. I guess I'll share them. Like, I think the ceiling for this team is they can win a wild card series at best. That's what I think. I don't think they go any further than that. That's just what I believe how this team is built right now. I do still think they make the playoffs at the end of the day. But still, their ceiling, that's what we got to discuss. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. You got these in this entire stretch against teams above 500, Braves, Blue Jays, Braves. You got to show to us that you can compete with these upper echelon teams. Braves, they still got something to play for. They're fighting for first place with the Mets. Blue Jays, they're fighting for spots to get into the playoffs with the American League wild card. So you're facing teams with something to prove. Go out there and showcase that you have something to prove. To make this fan base want to believe in you. To give the fan base hope for the future. To give the fan base something to look at. Because if you're not competitive during this entire stretch, no one's going to pay attention to you. No one. You slide into playoffs, get into a wild card series, no one's going to remember it. Just isn't. Just needs to happen. You need your best players playing to their capabilities. Simply needs to happen. It can't always be the guys in the bottom of the lineup. And I love the way the guys in the bottom of the lineup get on base and produce. Maybe Schwarber's getting on a little bit of a hot streak. That's home runs in 2 straight games for him. So hopefully that's something to build off for Schwarbs. But now with Rhys, who knows if he's even going to be in the lineup tomorrow. Now you got Sosa on the 10-day IL. Munoz played in this game, like I said. Castellanos, we still don't know when the hell he's going to be coming back at this point. Could be another week at the best, from what I saw at least. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. Like, I still can't get over that 8th inning. I still can't get over how badly Seranthony blew up. That it's just as simple as that. I can't get over how bad Seranthony was. To the fact where he can't throw strikes, and when he does, it's sent over the right field wall. Or it's put into the outfield where no one can get it. It's completely frustrating. Continue to look at these out-of-town scores. San Diego's up 5-1, so they're most likely going to win that game. And the Brewers, they're still tied in the bottom of the 6th. They got runner on first and second with 1 out. Frustrating. Just frustrating overall. Completely. I don't even think Thompson could have pulled him. You still got the 3-batter minimum. So that was 2 batters into the inning. So he wouldn't have been able to pull him. You got to remember about that 3-batter minimum. So looking through this chat here, we got Julian again. Brutal loss difference is the Braves hit in the clutch 7 through 9, 4 hits, rest 2. The core players need to show up in this series. Yep, they need to. Yeah, the top guys need to show up. Mama says Nick Nelson is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Am I right? The Phillies should make the playoffs because they will get destroyed in the best of 2 games in the first round. The Phillies have been good against the Braves this year, but there's no way they can win in the playoffs. Yeah. I mean, you can't predict that they were going to blow up. You can't predict that Seranthony was going to blow up that badly. That badly after he's been so good this year. You can't say that. If you're saying to yourself, oh, the Phillies are going to blow this one, then you're not a fan. You're just not, in my opinion. Just not. How were Harper and JT? They were both over 4. Well, I think Harper was over 3, but no, Harper was over 4. JT was over 4. Bring up Hall. Obviously, Hoskins is more injured than they say. Yeah, I don't know what the hell is the reason. They say he's only going to miss 1 day. He misses tonight. then if he misses tomorrow, there's something to be concerned about. Just is. What's the deal with Eflin? He looked very good 2 days ago, 18 games ago. Time for some of these guys to suck it up and play through the boo-boos. I don't know why Eflin wasn't brought up. I don't know. What else? Thompson has pushed most of the right buttons this year. How is an Eflin and or Robertson ready to go after the Acuna home run? I don't know. Don't know. You still got the 3-batter minimum to work with. And I guess he trusted Seranthony to bounce back after the home run. Sadly, it didn't. Like, yeah, I'm ride or die with Seranthony and Robertson and all that stuff. Sadly, it didn't work for you tonight. Sadly. Dr. Drew, Mets fan in here, had faith in us to help them out. Sadly, we didn't do it. Sadly, we did not do it. We got some back and forth here with the arguments with the Mets. What else? Don't see how they could beat the Braves in Atlanta in the wild card round. Just don't see it. The big boys need to, top guys do need to show up. Braves with home field is a different beast. They are vulnerable away. If you're worried or not completely sold that the Phillies are going to make the playoffs, like me, you're not a bad fan. This time next week against top teams could completely derail the season, worst case. Like, even if they go through a bad stretch, I still think they made the playoffs overall, just because I know the Brewers and stuff and the Padres, they're like neck and neck right now, but the Padres still have a very tough stretch. They play the Dodgers a lot going towards the end of the year, and the Brewers are on a very tough stretch right now with the Cardinals, Yankees, and the Mets. So, and the Brewers also lose the bad teams. So I do think even if the Phillies, like say they go maybe, how many games is during this stretch? So there's 3, 7, 11. They go like 4, 7, 5, and 6 in this stretch. It definitely isn't a good derail of the season overall. Phillies will make it. Blue Jays are definitely not as good as the Braves. You just got to see. Just got to see. If tomorrow is a stinker, it's time to worry. I mean, we said that during the road trip against the West Coast teams, but yeah, against these, top echelon teams, yeah, I guess you can sense worry right there in being able to beat them. I think there's a sense you can worry about that. Braves want to be the wild card team. They're kind of playing like they want the division. They definitely are. Mets losing games that they should win, losing a series to the Cubs and all that stuff. I know the Braves are on a little bit of a bad stretch before this win, too. I think they lost the series coming into this game. So, I think the Braves want to win the division. I think that's set in stone there overall. Just I just can't get over that 8th inning. I just can't. How bad Seranthony was. Just can't get over it at all. Can't get over how bad Seranthony was. Let's see. There are some pictures here. There are some quotes here after the game. This is specifically from Seranthony. Says he feels pretty good. Wasn't executing my pitches. I was throwing behind in the count. Well, that's obvious. Completely obvious. You just can't melt down like that. And if you want to talk about things other than the Phillies, Albert Pujols hit his 698th home run tonight. He's going to hit 700. There's only a matter of time before he does it. When he gets 699, it's basically much-watched television every night until he hits it. Basically there. There's a possibility Wheeler could be back on Wednesday. They're saying his bullpen session went good today. He was reaching 98 on his fastball. They're saying at best he could be back on Wednesday in the rotation against Toronto. So they're saying if he is back on Wednesday, he won't be used for long, maybe like 5 or 6 innings or something like that. Then you piggyback something else coming out of the bullpen. So it's most likely going to be like a 5 or 6 inning start for Zack Wheeler. I would assume that's what I saw. So basically, like I said, a wait and see process in that statement. It's just frustrating overall. Completely frustrating. That's that 8th inning. I just can't get over it. Can't get over it at all. Like I said, coming into this stretch, I had an idea of what this team was. Because overall, I do still think they make the playoffs. I still do. it's determining what they do in the playoffs. That's what I think of this team. If they go through a bad stretch against these top teams, they're probably not going to win a wild card series. But if they show us that they can, beat these teams, that maybe I'll have some hope for the wild card series. But you got to win. One game, you were winning 2-1 through the first 7.5 innings, and Seranthony blows up. You need to be way better. You need to be way better than that. Completely better. Just can't fall apart like that. But the best thing is to do, throw tonight in the trash, come back tomorrow. Let's see. If they went 4-5 in these 9 games, I'd take it, but don't know now what. Yeah, the injuries are getting ridiculous at this point. They definitely are. The injuries are playing a factor, but it's not an excuse. Because there's still a lot of your top guys still in there. It does suck because, Rhys, Castellanos hasn't been able into the lineup for the past couple of weeks, which sucks. Because quad injuries are, insanely ridiculous to heal. And just a pain in general. So, like I said, overall, still think they make the playoffs. It's just what they do in the playoffs is what will tell me about this team over this stretch. And right now, this isn't the first good test. It isn't. Just isn't. So, looking at the rest of this series, you got tomorrow, right back at it, same time as tonight, 7:20. Nola going up against Jake Odorizzi. Jake Odorizzi, he is 5-5 with a 4.15 ERA. In his last couple of starts, he went 3 2/3 against the Seattle Mariners, allowed 4 runs, 5 2/3 against the Cardinals, allowed 2, 6 innings against the Pirates, allowed 1, 5 innings against the Mets, allowed 5, and 4 innings against the Marlins, allowed 2 earned runs. So he has the ability, he does allow runs, so your offense needs to find a way to get to him. Overall. Just needs to. Offense needs to show it tomorrow for Aaron Nola. And Aaron Nola needs to go out there and pitch really good. Bottom line. Bottom line. Bottom line. That's what you got to do. And then for the last game of this series, it's Bailey Falter going up against Spencer Strider. Bailey Falter, our ace, on Sunday. And then you get the day off on Monday into that Toronto Blue Jays series, and then the 4-game series against the Braves next weekend. And I'll be going to 2 of those games. Yeah, it's the way they lost. Yeah, the way they lost tonight was terrible. If this was a 3-2 game, okay, you battled through the entire thing. Seranthony just gave up a go-ahead 2-run shot. Okay, move on to the next day. It's that, Seranthony just kept letting it spiral out of control, spiraling out of control. Sometimes that's why you hate the 3-batter minimum. And like I said, it's something from Seranthony that you don't expect. It just isn't. Just isn't. What else? Yep, the rest of the season. These last 2 games against Atlanta, 2 games against Toronto, 4 games against Atlanta. Then you go on the road trip for the rest of the season, Chicago, Washington, and Houston. So, bounce back tomorrow. Look like right here. Houston Astros have clinched a postseason spot for the 6th straight season. Let's see. Anything else on Twitter before we end off tonight? Pujols with a 690, 698. He's going to get 700. Definitely. Anything else before? I don't think so. So, tonight just sucked. Felt really good going into that bottom of the 8th inning. Then Seranthony just blew up. Bottom line there. Come back tomorrow, win a ball game. That's what you got to do. Can't harp on it forever. Go out tomorrow and win. That's what you got to do. So I thank you, everyone, for joining the live stream. As always, do not forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. I like to see those as always. Do not forget to drop a like on the video. And also, don't forget to check out everything in the description down below. Painted Lines, BrodesMedia. I recommend all of that. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. It goes a very long direction. Join the TTP Sports family. And also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Do not pass it up. Use it for anything that you can think of. Sporting events, concerts, anything you can think of. It's a great deal. Do not pass it up. Like I said, I appreciate everyone for joining the stream tonight. And I will see you next time.